All right, everybody, welcome back to Belgium Beer and Beats, episode 5. I can't believe we are on number 5. First of all, I would like to thank everyone who's watched any of the previous episodes. And if you have not checked them out, please go ahead and do that. So today we have the Westmalle Tripel. Next to that, you see the Westmalle DUBBEL. Now the DUBBEL is an excellent beer, which is surprisingly darker than the Tripel, yet not as strong. And since we're coming up on the spring, not sure when you're watching this, but it's springtime, you might not want a dark, heavy beer. So that's why we're going with the Westmalle today. Although it is super strong, it is 9.5% ABV. So let's go ahead and pop this open right away. But before we do that, we need the proper equipment. You know what I'm saying? So first of all, get you some Westmalle coasters. I just happen to have 2 of them laying around here. I'm a big fan of Westmalle. When I went to Belgium, I was able to try it. And I even picked up this cool souvenir sign. So that's what you see in the background, a little sign right there. And of course, most importantly, you have to, I repeat it every episode, you have to have the glass. Now this right here is a fine glass, an excellent glass, man. This is a beautiful chalice with the words Westmalle engraved right here. This one even includes the 33 line right there, so you know exactly where to pour it. And what I like most about this one is you can physically hold it like that without even touching the glass. So make sure your glasses are clean before you pour up. And when it comes to the Westmalle, if you watch my previous episode, I talked about Chimay. And in that episode, I explained what a Trappist brewery is and why they are significant. So if you don't know, I'll repeat it one more time. It is a brewery where the monks oversee the operation. And traditionally, back in the day, they would actually brew the beer. All the money that is made from these beers goes to the monastery, and sometimes they will distribute it to charities as well. So it's definitely a great beer to buy just for that reason alone. Got to support them monks, yo. When we're talking about the Westmalle, we got to talk about the Abbey of the Westmalle Brewery, not too far outside of the city of Antwerp, Belgium. What I noticed when I was buying this one, before when I would buy this, they didn't have this little cardboard thing on it. Now it looks like this is just kind of talking basically to the American market. They want you to know a little bit more about the brewery. I thought that was kind of nice. It also tells you what this beer pairs good with, which according to this, it's good with fish, roasted chicken, desserts with dark chocolate, and hard cheeses. So that's really cool. A little bit of information right there. I bought a bottle of this from BelgiumStyleAles.com. Ships directly from Belgium, and they did not have this on there. So they're definitely targeting towards the American market with this. The Westmalle Abbey was founded in 1794, but did not become a Trappist Abbey till 1836. But let's stop talking, man. Let's just pour it up, man. Just fast forward to it. Fast forward to the pour up, man. I'm gonna wipe it down a little bit. Now this is not corked like most traditional beers. This in the bottles like this. So what you want to do is when you open up this cap, you want to just don't pop it open. You want to give it a slight pop, let a little air out, and then fully open it. The reason for that is because these will fizz out. So I want to make sure that that doesn't happen. So you're going to give it a slight, let the air out, then go ahead. All right, so the Westmalle Tripel. Let's pour this bad boy up. Let's go. What's granted to me? What's granted Perfect pour, if I don't say. Now you have about a 1-inch head on there. That's really nice. So I'm looking at the color real quick, checking out the texture. This is a very carbonated beer, super carbonated. So let's go ahead. Once again, before I sip this, what I want to let y'all know is just let your beer sit out for about 10 to 15 minutes after taking it out of the refrigerator so you can get that proper temperature, which according to this, on the back of the bottle, sometimes it will tell you. This one does not say, but I would probably say 45 to 50, 52 degrees. So you don't want that ice cold. You want it fresh. Now with this one, when you hold this bottle up to the light, you can actually see, the sediment in there. You probably can't see it in the video, but you can see the sediment in these bottles. What some people like to do is they will pour right till about there. They'll take the rest of it and pour it in a shot glass. And that is the yeast, the sediment, that's the yeast that you're tasting. And that is why a Belgian beer can be aged and fermented inside the bottle, which is why I prefer the large bottle to the smaller one, because you get a lot of that sediment in there. And it's really special. It gives a whole nother flavor to the beer. So let's go ahead and let's smell it first, man. You got to smell that beer. So I get a little banana in there. I know that sounds crazy, but a lot of fruits. This is a very hoppy beer just off the smell alone. Now, when you look at that color, you can't see through it. It is a very golden color, but it's not see-through. You can even see a little, I can already see some sediment in there on the first pour. So let's go ahead and try this bad boy and see what it's all about, man. The foam has dissolved very quickly, but it's still there, very carbonated. This right here is an excellent beer. I would like to mention that this particular beer was the first triple ever produced. So the Westmalle Abbey, when they made this beer, I don't know how the story is, if they were experimenting or if it was a mistake, but this specific beer is the first triple, and some may say the best triple on the planet. I have some that are maybe a little bit better, but this is definitely the OG of the triple. Came out in 1934, in case anybody cares. Okay, so what I want to say about that flavor is it definitely tastes more hoppy than some of the other beers that I've reviewed. It's one of the hops in this one really stand out. They're very special, but it's not like an IPA, because I don't like IPAs. It's not my thing. But this one, for a Belgian beer, this is one of the most hoppy from the Trappist brewers. I would say it's got a very dry aftertaste. It doesn't stick around long, but what happens with that bitterness and that dryness, it just makes me want to have more. Very hoppy, very bitter. The fruit flavor is very light. As it warms up, you'll probably start to get more orange notes, banana, and other notes like that. Let's take a little intermission here. I'm not going to make a beat on this episode. It's just because we're trying to shorten it up and make it a tighter episode. Catch 22 was good, man. I see you out there. What we are going to do, though, we're going to take a little intermission, and I'm going to play a beat, but it's going to be real quick, and then we're going to get back into it and review this record right here. Let's go, y'all.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby.
Okay, so we are back and we are going to review this album right here. I know you see the skull here. You probably weren't even watching me drink beer. You probably were looking at this. This is my Cypress Hill CD with the skull. It's pretty cool. Very special merchandise. I don't know if this is for their 20th or 25th anniversary of their first album, but we are not going to review the first album. We are going to get into Cypress Hill's Black Sunday. Now this is an unopened copy for the 20th anniversary. There it is right there. So I like to lean this up against the beer and hope that it doesn't spill my beer. All right, so on the Black Sunday album, this was Cypress Hill's second album that came out. So this album here was released in 1993. This is a classic album. Now, what songs were on here? First track, right off the back, banger, I Want to Get High. Second track, I Ain't Going Out Like That. Banger, Insane in the Brain, banger. Fourth track, When the Sh Goes Down. I remember the clean version of that song. It was called When the Ship Goes Down. So I remember hearing it on rap radio back in the day in Chicago. And I was like, man, when the ship goes down, that's kind of weird. And then when I bought the full-length album, I heard what they said. And I thought, oh, this is crazy. Like the clean version was so funny back in the day when you would hear a clean version of a song. It's not like today where they just edit out the word. Like they would actually re-record the lyrics to come up with something that sounded similar to that actually word, like funk, ship, ash. Okay, so then you got Lick a Shot was good, Cock the Hammer. I mean, this album was just amazing. Everything on here was great. Hits from the Bong. I don't know if this was better than their first album. Let me know in the comments. If you're a Cypress Hill fan, let me know which one was better. Hand on the Glock was on here. So some of the singles that I have, is Hand on the Glock. This is dope because this is a kind of one of those bootleg records that you find. Okay, Insane in the Brain had a single. And When the Ship Goes Down is on the B-side. So, got that one. And then I have the Cypress Hill, I Ain't Going Out Like That. Another classic, man. I mean, also on the B-side of this one was, the B-side was Hits from the Bong. And When the Ish Goes Down, Diamond D remix is on here. So go look for that Diamond D remix. That is dope. That deserves a cheers. Diamond D remix, let's go. This beer has an excellent flavor to it. It's really hard to pinpoint what those flavors are, but it's very creamy when you drink it and a little bit sweet. As we talk about these records, as it warms up, I can start to taste that orange peel inside of there. Okay, here's another one. When the Ship Goes Down. This is, I don't know when this one came out, but it has How I Could Just Kill a Man, Killer Mix, and a Funky Feel one, extended mix. So back then, like, they would re-release songs all the time and just put like extended versions, remixes. Songs would come out like months before the album would come out. It was amazing back in the day how they would do that. So what would I rate this album? Definitely a 5 out of 5. I would rate this a classic album. What would I rate this beer? I would also rate this beer a 5-star beer. And since this is episode 5, why wouldn't we have a 5-star beer? So we got the Westmalle, we got the West Coast Records. There's the original Cypress Hill right there. The OG copy. This is the one that goes with this skull right here. So we got that OG copy. We got the Alcoholics right there with the 40 ounce. Just FYI, before these fine Belgian beers, yes, I would also drink 40 ounces. So don't think I was always this bougie. But now it's on another level. I'm a grown man, and this is what I'm talking about right here. Cheers to the Westmalle, man. Cheers to all my viewers out there. I know this is a very unique niche, and there's probably only a few people that actually tune in, but I salute y'all. You are some real ones, because what I'm doing here today is combining things that you'd never thought you'd see combined. And if you watch the previous episodes, you will see some beats being made. Now, as far as Westmalle goes, you have the Tripel, which might be my favorite at 9.5% ABV. You have the Double, which is 7%. So when you talk about those triples and doubles, basically when it starts getting over 10%, that's when it's a triple. And then I believe the 5 to 7 would be the double. And then under that would be like a extra. I don't know why they call it extra. That is the third beer that Westmalle makes. If you find it in the States, let me know. I have never tried it. The Westmalle Extra is the beer that the monks drink day-to-day basis. So they made that one for themselves. This one, from what the story goes, was more of an experimental one. And also, they have shared their knowledge with Chimay and other Trappist breweries who also make triples. But this is the OG triple. If you see Chimay or other brands making a triple, that is because Westmalle Abbey shared their methods on how to make that specific style. I would like to say thank you to everyone that has tuned in to any of the episodes of Belgium Beer and Beats. I'm not sure how much longer I will be doing these, but in the meantime, enjoy them and spread the word. Subscribe to this channel if you like what you see. I will also be doing some other record reviews, some live DJing for my beat makers. I'll get back to the beats maybe on the next one. Just give me some feedback and let me know what y'all think. Thank you so much. This has been another episode of Belgian Beer and Beats. And it's your guy, DJ Real One, signing out. Peace out and cheers.